Moonshiners is about the alcohol bootlegging business. How legitimate is it? Discovery has aired Moonshiners for more than 10 years and across 14 seasons. And despite the illegal nature of what the cast members appear to be doing in each episode, the series remains on the air. So, is Moonshiners real? And if so, how can it still be on television if the cast is illegally making and selling alcoholic beverages? Although Moonshiners has a solid fan base, there are still those who question the authenticity of the show. And can you really blame them? The show focuses on people who produce illegal moonshine in multiple states that include the Appalachian Mountains, including Kentucky and Virginia. And in those states, it's against the law to make and sell these distilled beverages the way they do on the show. So, what's the truth? The people featured in Moonshiners are really in the business they claim to be in. And the inner workings they share with viewers appear to be the real deal. However, it's unlikely that anything illegal is technically taking place on the show, which is why Moonshiners is real, to an extent, but also not illegal to produce for Discovery. In 2011, at the start of the series, the Virginia Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control released a statement about Moonshiners. Apparently, the way Moonshiners gets around breaking the law is by not actually showing real alcohol being made by professional moonshiners and bootleggers in the state, at least according to the department. Virginia ABC agreed to participate in an informative piece that documents the history of moonshine and moonshine investigations in Virginia, the statement said at the time. Virginia ABC did not participate nor was aware of the false depiction of moonshine manufacturing, distribution and / or transportation in the filming, and would not have participated in the documentary had it known of this portrayal. The fact that the show still films in Virginia shows that it's unlikely that illegal moonshine is actually made on camera during filming. But that doesn't mean everything else about the show isn't real. And some of those associated with the series have come forward to contradict what the Virginia Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control said. According to one of the show's stars, Tim Smith, the law actually states that moonshiners have to be caught in the act with real proof. In December 2011, he told bourbonblog.com that he was within his rights to participate on the show by making actual moonshine. With the laws in Virginia, and I'm pretty sure around anywhere else, you must be witnessed and physical samples of what you're producing have to be taken and analyzed, Smith said. All of this has to be produced in a court of law, and then the arresting officer has to testify. How are you going to arrest me for moonshining I did 5 years ago? What I did yesterday doesn't mean I'm going to do it tomorrow. Watch Moonshiners on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Discovery. More from Distractor for Here's Why Chico is missing from the latest season of Moonshiners. Richard Landry dreamt of being on Moonshiners. Get to know the award-winning distiller exploring the life of Moonshiners fan-favorite star Mark Roger's latest Moonshiners news and updates. Moonshiners is about the alcohol bootlegging business. How legitimate is it? The popular television show Moonshiners has captivated audiences by diving into the world of illegal alcohol production in the Appalachian Mountains. The show follows a group of moonshiners as they craft their illicit liquor, also known as shine, and navigate the risks of evading law enforcement while staying one step ahead of their competitors. While it offers a glimpse into a subculture that has long been associated with the southern United States, the legitimacy of moonshining as a business is a complicated matter, blending elements of both legality and criminality. This article seeks to explore the alcohol bootlegging business as portrayed in Moonshiners and examine its legitimacy in the modern era. We will discuss the historical context of moonshining, the legal and regulatory frameworks that govern alcohol production, the ethics of the moonshine trade, and how Moonshiners plays a role in shaping public perception of this underground industry. The historical context of moonshining. The history of moonshining can be traced back to the early years of American history, particularly during the Prohibition era of the 1920s. However, the practice itself predates this time period. Moonshining, or the illicit production of alcohol, has roots in rural America, where access to legal alcohol was limited, and distillation knowledge was passed down through generations. It flourished particularly in mountainous and isolated areas where law enforcement was scarce, allowing individuals to produce alcohol without much oversight. During the Prohibition era, 1920 to 1933, when the 18th Amendment made the production, sale, and distribution began distilling their own liquor to meet the demand for alcohol. This is when moonshine gained its notorious reputation as a bootleg beverage. The term bootlegging comes from the practice of hiding alcohol in boots or other hidden places to evade detection by authorities. In addition to moonshining, organized crime syndicates played a significant role in the illicit alcohol trade during this time. However, after Prohibition ended in 1933 with the ratification of the 21st Amendment, the production of alcohol became legal once again, and many moonshiners found themselves out of business. Yet, the tradition of moonshining persisted in certain regions, particularly in the Appalachian area, where it became a way of life for many people. The legal framework and the modern moonshine industry today. The production of alcohol is regulated by both federal and state governments in the United States. The Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, TTB, part of the U.S. Department of the Treasury, oversees the legal production, distribution, and taxation of alcoholic beverages. It is illegal to produce distilled spirits, including whiskey and moonshine, without proper permits and licensing. Anyone caught distilling alcohol without the necessary approvals is subject to criminal penalties, including fines and imprisonment. The laws surrounding alcohol production are stringent because alcohol is considered a potentially dangerous substance. Distillation involves heating fermented liquid to extract alcohol, and if done improperly, it can result in the production of toxic substances such as methanol, which is harmful to human health. Additionally, unregulated distillation can lead to alcohol contamination, fire hazards, and unsafe production environments. The government's regulation of the industry is intended to protect public health and ensure the quality and safety of alcoholic beverages. Despite these legal barriers, the practice of moonshining continues in some rural areas, albeit in a much smaller and more discreet manner. For some individuals, it remains a way to make money and maintain a connection to their ancestral heritage. However, illegal moonshining also has its risks, as law enforcement agencies remain vigilant in cracking down on unlicensed distillers. In contrast, legal moonshine production has gained a significant presence in recent years, thanks to the growing popularity of craft spirits and the increasing interest in artisanal alcohol production. Some former moonshiners have transitioned into legitimate businesses by obtaining the proper permits and opening legal distilleries. These businesses often market their products as moonshine to tap into the appeal of the once illicit tradition. Legal moonshine, typically sold in mason jars or similar containers, has become a sought-after product in bars and liquor stores, further blurring the lines between the traditional illegal industry and the modern, regulated one. Moonshiners. A glimpse into the underground world. Moonshiners, the reality television show that premiered on the Discovery Channel in 2011, has brought the once hidden world of illicit alcohol production into the public eye. The show features a cast of characters who engage in moonshining, showcasing their operations, the challenges they face, and the risks they take in evading the authorities. The series has been lauded for its portrayal of the moonshine culture, with its rustic settings, colorful personalities, and the inherent tension between the law and the Moonshiners' desire for independence. However, the legitimacy of the moonshining depicted in Moonshiners has been called into question. Critics argue that the show glamorizes illegal activity, making it appear as though the Moonshiners are simply engaging in a time-honored tradition without the serious consequences that typically accompany such actions. While the show may highlight the historical context and craft involved in moonshine production, it overlooks the very real risks associated with illegal alcohol production. The production team behind Moonshiners has also faced scrutiny for potentially staging elements of the show. In 2013, several cast members were arrested for operating illegal stills, leading some viewers to question the authenticity of the series. While it is true that some of the moonshine operations featured on the show may have been exaggerated for entertainment purposes, it remains clear that the practice of moonshining is still a reality in certain parts of the country, and that the risks of being caught and prosecuted are very real. The ethics of moonshining. A blurry line. The ethics of moonshining are as murky as the liquor itself. On the one hand, moonshiners often argue that they are simply continuing a tradition that has been passed down through generations. They may view their operations as a form of resistance against government control, embracing the idea of self-sufficiency and independence. For some, moonshining